Okay, so my friend sent me a video and it was talking about Peter and Jesus went on the boat, and Jesus tell Peter to cast the net and so you can get a bunch of fish. And it's kind of the video was like an encouragement of coming out a season of dryness and receiving the abundance from that. But when I went to it, I was like, well, and what stood out to me is verse 5. It's chapter 5, verse 5 in Luke. It says, "But Simon answered and said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net." One of the things that I've heard over and over again is desperation. And how we are desperate for the Lord, or when we are at our end, when we are, there's nothing left for us to do, that is when God comes in, right? That is when he shows up, because we realize, like, this has to be God. There was nothing else I could do. So, Peter, they worked all night. Peter's tried and tried and tried. So he know in his mind, like, and Peter's a skilled fisherman. He's not like, this is not his first rodeo. And he's tried all night. And I think they say like nighttime is better anyway, or early morning is better anyway. Daytime, the fish like come out, they hear all the noises, and so they disperse. So it's really hard to get fish at this time. It's usually in the dark, early morning that fishermen go out and go fishing. But Peter was like, ain't nothing out there, But the second thing that stood out to me is even though Peter knew nothing was out there in his human mind, he still threw down the net, right? Like, nevertheless, I'm gonna throw this net down because you asked me to. And what is interesting about that is because I don't think at this point Peter doesn't fully understand who Jesus is. He knows he is somebody. He knows he can do miracles. The healing has happened up to this point. Not a whole bunch, but some stuff has happened, right? But he doesn't fully understand who God is, who Jesus is in this moment. And I know this because if you go down to verse 8, it says when Peter, after, so they caught, in verse 6, when they done this, they caught a great number of fish and their net was breaking. So like there were so many fish that the net was breaking. And then you go down to verse 8. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." So at this moment is when Peter could see Jesus for who he really is. He is God in human form. Like Jesus is God. Like that's like when we truly see how holy God is, we can see how ugly we are. And this is what happens in at this point. It says, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." So Peter's fallen to his knees because he realizes who he really is. And it's interesting to me that in this point, this is the point that Peter is like fully on fire for the Lord and fully sees him. And so I hear the Lord saying, like, I can make miracles happen at any given time. I can do it all the time. I heal people all throughout the Bible, but my true disciples, like, when I make stuff happen, I need it to affect you in your heart. I need it to change your heart. I need it to refine and purify you. I need you to get rid of all this other stuff so that I can get to your heart and really change your heart, because that is the purpose. When your heart is changed, then you can move forward in what I have for you to do. This was the moment that changed his life, because Peter knew that it had been God. He was experienced fisherman. He knew he did all the things he was supposed to do. He knew nothing was out there, and then God showed up when he was sure that there was nothing left, when he was ready to give up, probably frustrated, angry, don't know what to do, because he needs these fish to take care of his family. That's when Jesus was like, all right, right now I'm gonna do this miracle, and I know from this miracle your whole life is going to be changed. You're never going to look at the world the same. You're never going to be the same. You are ready to carry on the purpose I have for your life. And so I just pray, if you're in that season where you feel like you're at your wit's end, you feel like there's nothing left, like God has a miracle for you, but you have to empty yourself. You have to be willing. You have to be obedient. You have to be willing to receive what he has for you, and know that whatever's coming is more than just a blessing for ourselves. It's a testimony for anybody that you come to next to share the gospel, to be on fire for the Lord, because he came in at a point where you knew there was no other way that this could happen. There's no other way that this miracle is not by accident. There's no other way you can explain it. And that's what God did in this moment. And that's what I believe he's going to do for a lot of us, because we need that fire that Peter had.